Oh my God, Blue Anon. Oh my God, Blue Anon is so brain broken, dude. Blue Anon is looking at a bill that like AOC also authored or co-sponsored and saying like, no, this actually is for some other nefarious purpose. And the nefarious purpose is that Trump's feelings are hurt by this. This is a way for them to drive home that narrative directly at odds with mainstream media. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is doing what? Donald Trump is releasing his new internet law.
That wasn't good. I don't know if that was good. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I also want to congratulate.
Do we have a different link? Because this link is ass. Like the auto captions are busted. Some are saying the cancer itself wasn't an accident. Oh yeah, I love this one. Lots of good theories online. Biden's dementia and cancer sounds like Havana syndrome. Is it an assassination? Did U.S. intelligence or whoever was controlling the auto pen want the president cognitively impaired? And do they now want him dead? That's right.
Federal law to combat the distribution of explicit, imaginary, posted without subject's consent.
This is a good thing, by the way, that he's doing.
Pictures, and I guess sometimes even make up the pictures, and they post it without consent.
This is the anti-AI. This is the anti-AI legislation
generated by artificial intelligence, known as deepfakes. We've all heard about deepfakes. I have them all the time, but I don't. Nobody does anything. I asked Pam, can you help me, Pam? She says
it's kind of weird, though, because he has used deepfakes before. Like, not deepfake, but he has literally used, like, deepfake AI shit in the past to smear opponents.
The rise of AI image generation, countless women, I guess sometimes even make up the pictures, and they post it without consent or anything else. And very importantly, this includes for forgeries generated by artificial intelligence, known as deepfakes. We've all heard about deepfakes. I have them all the time, but I don't. Nobody does anything. I asked Pam, can you help me, Pam? She says, no, I'm too busy. Too busy doing other things. Don't worry, you'll survive. But a lot of people don't survive. That's true, and so horrible. With the rise of AI image generation, countless women have been harassed with deepfakes and other explicit images distributed against their will. This is the wrong, and it's just so horribly wrong. And it's a very abusive situation, like in some cases.
Okay, this leads me to believe that that Trump has seen the deepfake videos of him sucking Elon's toes.
Thank you. Upon hearing the stories of so many women affected, our First Lady made stopping these abuses a top priority, and she was given tremendous support because she'd go up to people and talk about it. They say, yeah, we know about it. We have the problem. Can we do something? And she did something about it with the help of a lot of the people, especially the political people.
For the record,
sitting here.
I call balls and strikes. This is good. This is good that the admin didn't get in the way of this. I believe there was some contest from the likes of perverts such as Elon Musk, because he's like Mr. AI now, even though he hated AI in the beginning. Let me see. I might be wrong on this. Let's see. I mean, he has Musk's ex to blocks Musk's ex sues to block Minnesota deepfake law over free speech concerns. But this is, you know. Congress passes Take It Down Act despite major flaws from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. There's always going to be issues with this kind of legislation, by the way. President Trump himself said that he would use the law to censor his critics. The bill passed the Senate in February. The takedown provision in Take It Down applies to a much broader category of content, potentially any images involving intimate content than the narrower NCII definitions found elsewhere in the bill. The takedown provision also lacks critical safeguards against frivolous or bad faith takedown requests. Services will rely on automated filters, which are infamously blunt tools. They frequently flag legal content, from fair use commentary to news reporting. The law's tight time frame requires that apps and websites remove speech within 48 hours, rarely enough time to verify whether the speech is actually illegal. As a result, online service providers, particularly smaller ones, will likely choose to avoid the onerous legal risk by simply depublishing the speech rather than attempt to verify it. So I think that there are definitely issues with this, but there's always going to be issues. Bad take, it's bad law that's too ambiguous, and we'll push for preemptive takedowns before even verifying the content. But I think that given how aggressive people will try to misuse the takedown notices here, I assume that they will it will be up to the private corporations to issue better protections towards false takedown notices. and to build better verification tools.
People talked about all sorts of First Amendment, Second Amendment. They talked about any amendment they could.
The reality of the matter is deepfake AI is truly a horrible, horrible thing that is incredibly commonplace. And I think ultimately any kind of legal protection for victims in this process is always going to be seen as like expansive, vague, could be used towards quelling speech. It's the same principle behind like NetsDG, for example. Having said that, I still think it's is this the market will regulate itself? Well, there's no other way around it. This is just how it is. You have too much faith in the shitty corpos to not do a good job. They will fumble it hard, and this will be a censorship tool. I understand that, but I think it's I think ultimately it's a good bill. I mean, it's not the best bill, but I think it's still it can be used nefariously. But every bill that tries to curb back malicious actors is always going to be weaponized by other malicious actors with false flagging.
But thank you very much for being here, all of you, and congressmen, a lot of them, and women. Working with our First Lady, though, we've shown that bipartisanship is possible. I mean, it's the first time I've seen such a level of bipartisanship, and it's a beautiful thing to do. I'm not even sure you realize, honey, you know, a lot of the Democrats and Republicans don't get along so well. You've made them get along, and she didn't even know about that. She didn't know we had a problem. She didn't know we had a problem. She got a... But I want to thank you, honey. You've done amazing that this was done when you started. And I said, I don't know, it sounds like a tough one, and yet a very important one, and you got it done. So I congratulate you, and I congratulate Ted, Maria, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, and we'll sign the bill. Thank you.
So condescending. I mean, that's Trump, baby. That's how he is. So yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world. Obviously, any kind of bill. I mean, you could say this about everything. Every kind of legislation, good or bad, can be misused. Okay. Breaking: Trump wants to ban this AI video showing Melania Trump making out with Gavin Newsom. Trump insiders told us Trump is disgusted by this AI video and wants it banned off the internet. Oh my God, Blue Anon. Oh my God, Blue Anon is so brain broken, dude. Blue Anon is looking at a bill that like AOC also authored or co-sponsored and saying like, no, this actually is for some other nefarious purpose. And the nefarious purpose is that Trump's feelings are hurt by this AI video. Ew. I think they are memeing, but I might be wrong. I don't think they're joking. I think they're being sincere. I think it's like almost like a Midas touch angle here, which is that the biggest anti-internet laws always use topic everyone agrees with to be like, how can you be against this? To ship horrible things into law. I agree. Sesta Foster is a great example of this as well, where they act like they're trying to combat trafficking. Many work provisions, many work laws are positioned as like being against trafficking and being against like other forms of non-consensual acts being filmed, when in fact the actual impact of legislation such as that is to make it harder to do work in general in a consensual manner. And Sesta Foster is a great example of this. That was horrible for workers and took away tools that they could use to protect themselves from clients that were bad, for example. I know this. I've talked about this extensively. I still think that this, on the other hand, is not like the primary purpose of this is not necessarily to quell speech or to issue takedowns falsely. It will be used for that purpose, but the primary purpose of this legislation is to combat deepfake AI. Do you see what I mean? Like Sesta Foster, its primary purpose wasn't to combat trafficking. It was just presented as that, but in fact, it was actually to make it harder to do work, to move away from decriminalizing work and to move in the direction of further criminalizing work, make it harder to do. The primary purpose of this legislation, on the other hand, while it still allows opportunities for bad faith actors to falsely apply this Take It Down Act to try to get shit taken down and to try to stop free speech from taking place online, The primary purpose of the bill in and of itself is still to combat deepfake AI, and therefore I think it's not the worst. Anyway, speaking of JD Vance, a man who doesn't have it. Let's get back to JD Vance talking about Biden's health in office and the prostate cancer stuff that took place. Let's take a look.